Hello everyone and welcome back to Wild Bloom Tarot. My name is Becca and I'd like to welcome you to today's video where we will be getting guidance and inspiration on what is holding us back right now. What do we need to release? So today I have 3 groups for you to choose from in order to get this information and messages and guidance. So we have group 1, which is the rose quartz. Group 2, the citrine. And group 3, the fluorite. So you need to choose your pile intuitively. So take a nice big deep breath in and ask yourself out loud or in your head, what is holding me back right now? What messages do I need to hear to move me forward? And what do I need to release? So pick whichever pile you feel the most drawn to, whichever you feel is calling your name. Now if you do feel that you feel drawn to 2 piles, you're more than welcome to tune into as many readings as you feel drawn to get the most information. Now please remember that these readings are general readings. Lots of people will be tuning into these and that means that there'll be different messages for different people. But I'm really excited to get into the cards and see what messages we can find to help you move forward. So when you are ready, you can find the timestamps in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I look forward to seeing you when we get to your pile. Hello group 1 and welcome to your reading on how we can help you move forward, what you need to release and what is holding you back. So we've got lots of messages here, so I'm going to get started with this card here, the Chariot. So this was actually the card that was underneath the rose quartz that you chose at the beginning. Now you might have felt drawn to the rose quartz either because of the colour, which is my nails, or rose quartz obviously is to do with love, so maybe that is the reason that you chose it. But this was the card that was underneath that rose quartz. And the fact that these kind of two are working together can show me that one thing that you need to release, one thing that you need to work on, one thing that is holding you back at the moment is actually how mobile you are and how perhaps you're not being as strong and decisive at the moment. So this shows me perhaps that you're letting people walk all over you a little bit. You're not kind of fixed on your vision. You are becoming a little bit complacent. You know, the Chariot kind of talks about willpower and strength and assertion. So I can see in this card that one thing that is holding you back right now is actually that you aren't asserting yourself, that you aren't letting the Chariot carry you to where you need to go. You're kind of letting people walk all over you, and perhaps you're a bit complacent in your job right now. Perhaps you're in a relationship where, you know, it's okay, but it's not fulfilling you to the fullest extent. Your job's not fulfilling you to the fullest extent. It's almost like you're stagnant, like you're stuck, like it's working perhaps for the time being, but long term, if you stay in this kind of stagnant, fixed, like complacent state, you're not going to move forward. You're not going to get on this chariot and go to where you're meant to be, go and pursue your vision. So I can see here that one thing you need to release is the idea that you can't achieve your dreams. I feel that you are very stuck in a position where perhaps you earn enough money, perhaps you're in a relationship where you feel happy, but it's not motivating you, it's not pushing you, it's not driving you forward. It's almost like at the moment you're just going in a straight line. You're not going, you know, fast, you're not going with strength. It's just like, it's easy. But sometimes the easiest things, the things that make us stay in our comfort zone, aren't always the things that are destined for us. You know, the most progress, the most growth is made from us stepping out of our comfort zones and doing things that push us, doing things which are a bit more difficult. You know, we grow in situations of fear, in situations which are difficult. So I can see that it's really important that you start to challenge yourself. You start to challenge others. You challenge the people who think they can walk all over you, expect you to pick up the pieces. You know, maybe they're not pulling their weight in their job, in a project, in the relationship. Maybe they, you know, they're like, well, they'll do it, so why should I, you know, put in my effort and my time? Because they know that you aren't carrying yourself at the moment. So I can definitely see that you need to start asserting yourself, and you need to start, you know, realizing that you can achieve what you want to achieve. You can achieve your dreams, and to start putting things into motion to actually help you get there. And that really kind of falls nicely into the other cards that we've got. So we've also here got the Two of Wands, and look at the bigger picture. So I can see again that another thing is holding you back. So as I was saying with the Chariot, is the idea that you aren't destined for bigger things. You're almost like, you feel like you want to take the easy route. You feel a little bit stuck. You feel, like I said, you're going kind of plodding along. You're not kind of jumping on that chariot and going and achieving things. So I can see here that one way that you are going to move forward, one thing that's holding you back, is that you aren't planning. You aren't looking beyond tomorrow. You're only looking as far as, what am I going to have at lunch tomorrow at work? What am I going to wear tomorrow? You're not thinking bigger picture. So it's really important to help you move forward. I can see that you're a very, very adventurous person. You love like setting goals and achieving things, and you know, you might be a Sagittarius yourself. But this is really telling you to put plans into action. Look at the bigger picture. Remember that you have a whole life ahead of you. Regardless of how old you are, you have so much left to achieve, so many people left to meet. So it's really important that with this Two of Wands, you take on this fiery, passionate energy, and you sit there and you actually think, you know, what do I want to achieve in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time? You look at that bigger picture. You look at the future that you want, and you start planning how you're going to get there. So at the moment, you're stuck, you're stagnant, and the way that you're going to move forward is to actually think about what is going to move you forward, what is going to motivate you. It's almost like you're stuck in a place which is easy, but it's not where you want to be. It pays the bills, but it's not the job you actually want to do. You are comfortable in your relationship, but you don't get that excited butterflies feeling. So look at the bigger picture. Where do you want to be in a year's time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time? Start planning it out, write it down. You know, manifesting is a beautiful way to really tune in with our goals and our dreams, and help us believe that we deserve those. You know, with manifesting, people always talk about the law of attraction, you know, you can get what you want and all this, but you have to believe that you can achieve it. Do you believe that you can achieve your goals? Do you believe that you can achieve your dreams? You need to spend some time writing down your goals, writing down your dreams, and kind of get on that chariot. Get onto that road to success. And it doesn't mean, like I'm saying, quit your job or whatever. You know, it's obviously you have to do sensible things. We all have to do things in life that perhaps we don't want to. But it's important that you take the attitude that what you want can be yours if you put the procedures and the plans in place to make that happen. You know, look at that bigger picture. Look at the life that's waiting for you. And it can be yours, but you can't just sit there stagnant, complacent. You have to believe that you can achieve that. So really take some time to write out some goals, some short-term goals, some long-term goals. Put some energy into that future planning, into perhaps how you're going to progress in your job, how you're going to progress with a project that you've always wanted to start. In your relationship, what steps can you put in place to bring some more fire and excitement? You know, this is all about action. It's all about doing. So at the moment, the way that you're going to move forward is by putting things into action, putting things in place. And I can see here in Ground Yourself, this is the self-care card. I can see that it's really important that you tune into that. So as I was saying, you know, planning for the future. Use grounding yourself to really kind of tune into your skills and your talents, and practice self-love. You might be the type of person who would not say the kindest things about themselves, would not meet someone and be like, yeah, I'm this type of person, I do this. You're almost just like, yeah, I mean, I try this, and yeah, I'm interested in this. You're not very optimistic. You're not very positive about yourself and what you can achieve. And that's one thing that's holding you back. So ground yourself, meditate, manifest, sit on the earth. If you have a garden, go sit on the earth, on the grass, and really feel that connection. You are alive, but sometimes we get so caught up in the busyness of life that we forget we just exist moment to moment. We're not living. We're just letting every moment pass us by. So really ground yourself. Feel the breath enter your lungs. Really feel how it feels to be alive in this moment, and welcome it and cherish it and be thankful for it. Thank the universe, thank God, whoever you believe in, thank them for this life, and look at that bigger picture. This is one moment in your whole life. So what are you going to do to get you to the next moment? What are you going to do to get you to that place where you want to be? How are you going to achieve your goals, your dreams, the ones that you are destined to achieve and deserve to achieve? So that is a really big message here. Stop letting people walk all over you. Now, in the Devil card, I can see that another thing that's holding you back at the moment is you are kind of confining yourself. It's almost like you are acting like a little devil on your shoulder, saying, you can't achieve this. You can't do this. You're constricting yourself. You are, containing a part of yourself. No one else is doing it. It's you. You are kind of you're putting the handcuffs on yourself. So there's a part of you that perhaps you want to work on, perhaps you want to release, perhaps you want to make a YouTube channel, perhaps you want to start a blog. There's a part of you that maybe you're hiding, you're worried about, maybe you're embarrassed about it, or maybe it's just an area of yourself that you've never been able to fully express. So one thing that is holding you back is yourself. Is you, similar to what I was saying with the Chariot, you telling yourself that you can't achieve it. The more that you tell yourself you can't do things, the more that you say negative things into the world, the more that you say negative things to yourself and into the mirror, the more your mind starts to believe that they are true. The more you say positive things, the more you live in the moment, ground yourself, really feel what it feels like to live in your body as yourself. You are the only person who's ever going to be you, and that is your magic. So I can see that you are kind of holding back a part of yourself, restricting a part of yourself that wants to be free. So have a think about if there's anything that you do feel that you aren't letting live to its fullest. And it might be that you're with friends, you're in a relationship, you're in a workplace, or whatever it is where you have to hide a part of yourself, where you can't be your fullest, realest, rawest self. And I can see here that work through your fears, this is causing you to worry. It's causing you to worry about, the future. What is going to happen? Who am I going to be? Who am I right now? What am I going to achieve? These might be worries that are working through your head every single day, taking up space. And when fear takes up space, it means we have less space to plan for the future. We have less vision. We don't think we can make progress so long as fear is in the way. So I can see here that it's really important, and you can definitely do this with your grounding exercises, with your future planning. You need to work through those fears, that fear, that voice that's confining you, that voice that's stopping you be your realest self. Anything that you're worried about. So you might want to, for example, start a YouTube channel. The fear might be saying to you, well, no one's going to like it, or so-and-so is going to find it and they're going to make fun of you. So what? So what? It doesn't matter. That is you, yourself, your mind controlling yourself. You don't know that's going to happen. You have no idea. We have no idea. No one has any idea what's going to be viral tomorrow, who's going to be famous tomorrow. No one has any idea. So work through those fears. Get them out on paper. Have a look at them. Are they real, actual, solvable problems, or are they hypothetical worries? Work through them. And you might be a Scorpio, or a Scorpio might be in your life. But it's really important that you kind of drop this victim mentality, this idea that you can't achieve the things that you want to. That's what's holding you back. You're holding yourself back. And I can see that you have such an amazing future ahead of you, all these amazing things. You know, the Chariot is such a positive card of like strength and assertion, and I can see that until you believe that this can be yours, that you can have the future you want, you're going to be stuck in a place of always settling for less, always being walked over, complacency. So group 1, I'm so excited for you to start putting things into action. Have a good old talk to yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, say some really positive, beautiful things to yourself, because you are amazing. You have an amazing future ahead of you, but you got to get there, you know, you've got to get there. You've got to get on that horse and get there. So write down some things you want to achieve, practice some meditation. There's lots of great apps that you can download. There's Headspace, there's Calm, there's lots of YouTube videos, so I'd 100% recommend that over the coming weeks, and definitely get some planning going. So group 1, this is the reading that I received for you. Very excited. Please leave me a comment down below with what resonated with you. Share this video with anyone who you think might enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as well. And I really look forward to seeing you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group 2, and welcome to your reading on what you need to release, what's holding you back, and how you can move forward. So you chose the citrine, this beautiful yellowy orangey crystal, and the citrine represents sunshine to me, you know, represents happiness, positivity. So it might be that you felt drawn to this because that's how you feel right now, or because that's how you want to feel right now. But let's dive right into your reading, see what the cards have to say about what is holding you back. And group 2, you know, I can really see how beautifully these cards come together to give you such a clear message on what is holding you back right now. So I can see that your biggest barrier at the moment is how much you're worrying about the future, how much you're worrying about what is waiting for you. It's almost like you're kind of putting on a blindfold. You're like, I don't even want to think about it, because if I think about it, then it happens, and if it happens, I'm gonna freak out. So I can really see that in the 8 of Swords and in the 3 of Wands here, that one thing that's really holding you back at the moment, one thing that's stopping you from getting to the place where you want to be, is actually the fact that you are not letting yourself think about that. You're not letting yourself have the chance to think about your future, to prepare, to expand, to grow, because I think you're so worried of what it might bring. You know, it's a very uncertain time now anyway, and it might be that you've gone through a period of low mood, or a period of uncertainty, something that's made you feel very anxious and worried about the future, you know, what's actually around the corner, to the point where you're like, actually, I'd rather just not think about it. But this worry, this isolation that you're putting yourself in, is completely self-imposed. You are putting a blindfold on yourself. It's not that you aren't capable of thinking of the future. It's not that you don't have great skills or great things that are waiting for you. It's almost like you don't want to think about it, because you don't know what lies in store for you. You don't know what's going to happen. And therefore not thinking about it is easier than having to get caught up in like an existential, like, what is my life going to be? And, you know, that's very common. It's very, very common group 2. And there'll be lots of other people watching this, and have comfort in the fact that none of us know what's coming. You know, anyone could say to you, actually, I know I'm going to be this, and I know I'm going to do this by this age. But realistically, we have no idea what life is going to throw at us. Does anyone think there was going to be a global pandemic this year? Absolutely not. I was planning to go to Disneyland. I don't know about you, but, you know, no one knows what's coming. Things come completely out of the blue, and I can see it definitely in the 8 of Swords, that one of your biggest insecurities is about yourself. You know, I think you put a lot of pressure on yourself. you have high expectations, or someone might have high expectations of you, and therefore you kind of put yourself in a position where you, like I said, put on a blindfold, you put on your own handcuffs, you put on your own kind of cloak of invisibility, so that you don't have to deal with it. You don't want to deal with it. You're worried about not succeeding, about not achieving. But unless you take a chance, unless you take a risk, without failing, we would never know success. No one in their life, or at least no one I've ever met, has achieved something on the first try. Has gone, right, in 10 years' time, I'm going to be this, and got there the next day. That's not how life works. Life works by planning, by having that vision into the future and the willingness to expand. I can see in the Eight of Swords that you quite like to shrink yourself. You might be a bit of an introvert. You might be the type of person who doesn't like to take up a lot of space. And taking up space doesn't necessarily mean about being loud and demanding and extroverted. It's not about that. It's about understanding that you have the right to achieve and the right to your own future. Don't let anyone else tell you what lies in store for you, because it's, as soon as you put that blindfold on, as soon as you say, I don't want to think about the future, I'm worried that I'm going to mess up, I'm worried I'm not going to achieve what I wanted to, you are completely ruling out any chance of you achieving what you wanted to, any chance of you becoming your own self, because someone will take the reins. You know, life is a roller coaster, and someone will take control and steer you in a direction you don't want to be in. So I can see here that one way that you need to move forward is you need to release this perception that the future is scary, that the future is a scary place that you don't want a part of. Because if you have that attitude, if you have that idea that you don't want to be a part of it, someone else will come in and, you know, be the protagonist in your own story. But you are the protagonist. You are in charge of your destiny. And I can definitely see in the whole spread here that while this is a really scary time for you, a really worrying time, perhaps you've graduated recently, or you've left school, or you've been, you know, made redundant, or whatever it is, it's a scary time for you, and I can see that, and I can totally understand this Eight of Swords energy. This, I'm gonna, you know, put a mask on, a blindfold on, tie myself up, and just stay where I feel safe. And I can see in the Queen of Pentacles here that you feel very safe at home. You need to feel safe and nurtured and protected. You know, you invest in things that make you feel safe. If you're wearing, you know, those hoop earrings, or if you're got your favourite blanket over yourself in the evening, you feel safe. You have these things in life, these comforts that make you feel protected. And I can see that you really, really do feel most at home, most yourself, when you are surrounded by this layer of protection, this layer of, you know, I'm in a safe place. And that's completely fine. But I think that that's almost something that's, you know, playing too big a role in your life. And, you know, this reading is very, very similar to group 1. So I would definitely recommend you perhaps check that reading out as well. But I can see in the Queen of Pentacles that while nurturing yourself and loving yourself is so, so important, I would always, always preach self-love to you. To not let it get to the point where you're so almost like, you know, like those overprotective mums that like don't let their kids do anything, don't let their kids get any illnesses, or like are really kind of, you know, over the top with hygiene and never let their kids get sick. So then when their kids do get sick, it's like really bad. It's almost like that kind of thing. It's like you protect yourself so much that even the idea of fear is scaring you. So I can see in these cards here that one of the things you need to release is this overprotective nature. And it might be a person in your life who is quite overprotective of you. It might be a partner, it might be a mum, a motherly figure, some kind of guardian, caregiver, that kind of person who is kind of not really opening you up to the world, not letting you experience things. And it might be yourself. You might be saying no to the things that you know you're going to find difficult. It might be like, we need a volunteer to go and do this. And you're like, well, I'm going to really struggle with that, so I'm not going to volunteer. So I can see that one thing that's holding you back is either a person in your life or yourself who's kind of being very overprotective. And one way that you are going to move forward is by taking chances, taking risks, making decisions that you outright know will be difficult, that you know might be difficult for you to deal with, cause you to feel anxious, cause you to worry. But without those experiences, without negativity and without failing, we would never know success. We would never know how to get better. Every time we fail, we learn, we grow, we get better, and we're closer to succeeding. You do not have to succeed first time. I can see that you are the type of person who puts a lot of pressure on yourself to achieve first time. You don't have to. You have to drop this pressure, drop this worry of, I'm not going to be the person I think I'm going to be. Because how do you know that? No one knows that. But it's in your hands to get there. You can't let anyone else do it for you. You can't protect yourself to the point where you're not able to go out and achieve things. You can't say no to everything. You have to start putting yourself in positions where you will struggle, where you will fail. And every time you fail, you get back up again. You will build this mentality of, I'm going to do this so that I grow. I'm going to go to this job interview even though I don't think I'm qualified, because it's an experience. It's more experience in job interviews. It's more experience in talking to people, meeting people, talking about myself. And I can see that this decision, this act of starting to say yes, starting to do things that you know are difficult, is going to bring so much enlightenment. It's that kind of eureka moment of, this is what I've been missing. This is what I've been missing. I've been missing this feeling of growth. I've been missing this feeling of success. You can't succeed if you always say no to things. You can't succeed if you're always assuming the worst or assuming that destiny's already plotted for you. And I'm actually just going to read you the little passage from the guidebook on this, because I think it's really fitting for the situation. It's just this bit here. Have faith in yourself. You are so much more than you believe yourself to be. I really love that, and I think that's so true of you. You are going to have this moment of, this is what I've been missing. You're going to take the blindfold off, that you're going to take off this Eight of Swords energy and move into this citrine energy, the happiness, the sun, the warmth, the positivity. But you need to do things, you need to go places to experience this. And I can see that this is a worry of yours. So in the full moon in Gemini card here, this is your kind of green light of, don't worry. This is all a very worrying situation, the idea of having to go out and do things that you find difficult. And this is the card to tell you the answers you need are coming. The things that you want, that you're thinking of right now, they're coming to you. But they're not going to come to you if you sit and you're stagnant and you're putting the blindfold on yourself and tying yourself up in a room and going, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to stay where I'm protected. This is only going to come to you if you let it, if you make the active choice to make it happen. So the answers you need are coming. Have some reassurance in that. Maybe you're a Gemini, but have some faith in your ability. Have some, get strength from that, and you will feel this enlightenment. The answers are coming, but you have to put yourself in a position where you can learn, where you can grow. No one has become enlightened from sitting in their room all day and doing the same thing every single day, looking at the same news articles. Like, you need to put yourself in a position where you can grow. So how are you going to do that? Write down some ideas. And now the last card I want to talk about is this, your self-care card. So this, again, is kind of asking you to free yourself. Let go a little bit. Not everything in life has to be so serious. So sing. Get in the shower, put on your favourite song and sing your heart out, even if you are absolutely rubbish. The thrill, the feeling of letting go and like singing like no one is listening and like you don't have a care in the world, that again is going to give you this lust for life, this enjoyment, this excitement, this enlightenment of life isn't, you know, boring, life isn't stagnant, life isn't just passing you by. The future isn't scary. You know, this singing, you know, listening to your own voice, connecting to yourself, that's going to be so powerful for you. So this, as soon as you've watched this video, put on your favourite song, if you can, and sing. In your car on your way home from work, sing. In the morning in the shower, sing. While you're cooking dinner, sing. And I can see that this is going to be a really powerful tool for you to kind of let down your guard a little bit. Let go of some, you know, pent up stress and negativity and just embrace life for what it is. Fun, exciting. And I'm really excited to see what waits in store for you, group 2. So this is the reading that I received for you. Really, really, really positive. Like 100% you guys have such an amazing future waiting for you. So right now watching this, you know, go make a list of what you're going to do next. How are you going to let your guard down? What are you going to do that's going to, you know, put you out your comfort zone? So please leave me a comment down below. Let me know, you know, what are you going to go out and do right now? What resonated with you in this reading? And I really look forward to seeing you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group 3, and welcome to your reading on what is holding you back and what you need to release in order to move forward. So you chose the fluorite, this beautiful green stone. So you can also get the fluorite in purple. It's really pretty. And yeah, the fluorite helps kind of to banish negative energy. So it might be that you felt drawn to this because you feel like you've got a lot of negativity in your life right now. And when we look at the cards, you know, I'm feeling for you group 3, I'm feeling for you. So I'm going to get right into it because there's a lot of messages here that I want to go through. So let's start with the elephant in the room. What is holding you back right now? This Ten of Swords energy. This Ten of Swords energy is holding you back, group 3. Now the Ten of Swords represents not necessarily the happiest things in the whole tarot deck. The Ten of Swords is kind of endings, loss, backstabbings, defeat. And I can really see here that what is holding you back is you are really struggling to let go of something. What are you struggling to let go of? What is taking up space in your brain, in your mind, in your heart, that's stopping you from moving forward? So again, you chose the fluorite. You know, the fluorite is all about banishing negative energy, and I can see that you need to do this, group 3. There is something you're holding on to, a person, a friendship, a project, a job, something you can't let go of that is actually keeping you from moving forward. So what has ended that you haven't put to bed, that you haven't put to rest, that you haven't had your closure with? Because that is stopping you from achieving your future, and you have a bright future. You have these amazing things waiting for you, and I can see that you are really kind of clinging on to this for all it's worth. You know, it might be that a relationship ended. You didn't expect it was coming. You didn't get the closure you needed. So you're holding on to that person. You're still looking at their Instagram. You're still looking at them on Facebook. You still have their number in your phone. They're taking up space in your life where they shouldn't. You need to accept an ending. You need to accept that, you know, you've got a loss. We all have them in life. We all have things that we lose. Everything is temporary. Feelings are temporary. And, you know, that's the magic of life. The magic of life is that everything is changing. Everything changes. And there is something that you are struggling to let go of. And you need to release this. You need to let go of whatever this is that's taking up, you know, rent-free space in your mind and not letting you move forward. And I can see in this card here, the full moon in Leo, and you might be a Leo or another fire sign. You might have Leo somewhere in your chart. That one of the reasons you're kind of not letting go of this is because of your pride. You know, what will people say about me? How will I look if I, look like I'm struggling? If I look like I'm finding things difficult? You know, after a breakup, you kind of want to put on your best dress and go flaunt it, but it's okay to grieve. It's okay to be sad. So don't let pride, your ego, don't let what's fueling your ego make you deal with something that you aren't supposed to be dealing with. Spending time on an ending that you haven't put to bed. What has ended that you can't get over? And why is it affecting you so much to the point where you're like, well, if I just kind of string it along for a little bit longer, I won't have to deal with it. I won't have to show my emotion. I won't have to show my vulnerable side. You're worried about what people are going to say. And at the end of the day, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time, whatever it is, you won't even be thinking about it. These people who you think will judge you won't even be thinking about it. But you're stuck in this, almost frozen in time, in this moment that you're, reluctant to let go of. And you have to bury this. Full moon is all about release. You need to release this negativity, release this moment, this loss, and let it be, let it happen. And I think that you are worried about what the future has for you because of this ending. And this card here, one of the best cards, I think. You need to believe in what you think you can't ever have, in what you don't think will come true. You have to believe in it. Believe in the impossible. It's almost like you're going through a breakup or a job loss or a friendship loss or something that you need to release. And it's almost like you need to think that you are going to be okay after this. It's almost like in the back of your head, it's telling you actually, if you move on from this person, you're never going to be happy. Believe in what you think is impossible. If you think it's impossible you'll ever get a job again, believe. If you don't believe anyone will ever love you again, believe. The idea of the impossible, there are so many things that have happened in just the last 5 years of my life that I never believed were possible. And it's exactly the same case for you. Believe in your impossible. Believe in yourself enough to know that amazing things are waiting for you. As soon as you banish this loss out of your life, banish this person who's taking up space in your day, time in your day, space in your mind, and they don't deserve it. You have to believe in yourself enough and believe in the impossible enough. Trust your path, trust your talents, your skills. Everything comes and it goes, but it's all for a reason. So trust in the reason. So I can really see that, in kind of letting go of this situation, letting go of this person, whatever it is for you, whatever's resonating with you, letting go of this thing that ended, that you're not willing to accept has ended, is your kind of way to get into a future, and an amazing future that is, that you deserve. And I can see here in the Hermit that one thing that you are really struggling with right now is having time on your own. And this card is really calling you to spend a bit more time with yourself. And I know, we obviously have spent so much time with ourselves over the last however many months, but how much time have you actually spent with yourself? We exist every day with ourselves, but how much time have you spent with yourself? So this is calling you to withdraw a little bit. I feel like you're the type of person who you wanted to look like you were okay after this loss. You wanted to look like, actually, I'm fine. I don't need any help. I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me. You didn't want anyone to feel sorry for you. You didn't want to let down your guard and look vulnerable. And I can see here that you've kind of launched yourself into a lifestyle, into constantly being surrounded by people to kind of embody this idea that you're fine. And I don't think you are. And it's okay not to be. 100%, you don't have to be okay. So what you need to do is you need to withdraw a little bit. You know, true friends will understand. True partners will understand. If you say, actually, I just need some time on my own, some time to kind of process this. Perhaps you haven't processed it. If it happened, you know, during this weird, strange year that hasn't made sense to anyone, perhaps you haven't been able to process it. So take some time on your own. Book some time off work. Take yourself out. And I can see that in this card here too. Take yourself on a walk. Book in times with yourself. Almost like you're booking in like a doctor's appointment. Book in like half an hour to go for a walk with yourself. Take some time for yourself. Book out an hour in the evening to just read a book. Do something that you enjoy. Don't worry about having to act like a person you're not to cover up how you're feeling. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's scary to be vulnerable, but how amazing would it be for you to achieve that and be able to say, actually, I did the thing that I found difficult. So take some time away from social situations, from being this life of the party, from trying to act in a way that shows you're better than perhaps you are actually feeling, and feel your feelings. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are so valid. And it's so easy for us to, you know, try and put on this mask of, I feel fine, you know, I'm dealing with this, because we're too scared to feel our feelings. But all your feelings are valid, you know, however you feel, even if you are okay after this loss, it's all valid. But you do need to understand that these things take time, these things can be difficult, and you have to release any toxicity, any negativity that's kind of holding you back in this place where you can't move forward. And I can see finally here in the Ten of Pentacles that you have this amazing, exciting, beautiful future of fulfillment and contentment and, you know, family. I can really see that you're being called to spend time with your family, and, you know, really enjoy life for what it is. You have such a beautiful future in front of you. You know, Ten of Pentacles is wealth, it's abundance, it's happiness, it's fulfillment, contentment. And I can really see that at the moment you don't feel like this is possible. You don't feel like you can get to this place of Ten of Pentacles. You know, you're kind of like almost living this like fake life, this fake kind of I need to do this to look like this. It's that pride. You're doing what you think other people want to see, rather than living for yourself, perhaps. And, you know, treat yourself a little bit. You have to kind of allow yourself to deserve things, allow yourself to believe, you know, believe in this impossible idea that you deserve love, you deserve happiness, you deserve that pizza if you want to order pizza, you deserve that necklace that you've been eyeing up. And I think it's also this idea of, if you are out of a relationship, to treat yourself, date yourself. You know, as I was saying, like with the Hermit, you know, we spend all our time with ourselves, right? We're forever with ourselves. But how much time do you spend with yourself? This is the idea of date yourself before you date anyone else. Love yourself before you love anyone else. You know, run yourself a nice bubble bath, put some rose petals in it, date yourself. And I can see here that in this Ten of Pentacles, happiness and abundance is waiting for you. But spend some time with yourself and really thinking about, you know, how you can love and like nourish and nurture and pamper yourself right now. And it is a difficult time, you know, as I was saying, you know, we have a difficult year regardless of anything, you know, else happening. But really think about what kind of things can you put in place to like nurture and nourish and love and pamper yourself. You deserve it. I don't think that you realise that. I don't think that you realise that you deserve like to buy yourself flowers and buy yourself a bottle of wine and order yourself dinner and all these things that we're kind of indoctrinated to think other people have to do for us. You can do it for yourself. You can buy yourself flowers. I do it all the time. And I think this wealth, this emotional wealth, is going to come from you believing that you deserve more than perhaps you've ever given yourself credit for. Believing in the impossible idea that you deserve love, you deserve happiness, and you can't even find that through anyone else. You have to find it in yourself. Drop this pride, drop the ego that's telling you to put on a mask and pretend like you're okay, and get this toxicity out of your life. Get it out. It doesn't deserve to be there. End it. It's okay. It's okay. We all have endings. We all have change. And, you know, the fact that you've chosen the fluorite, you know, this banishing kind of negative energy crystal, is it's almost like destiny. If you believe in fate, it's like you chose this because that's what you need in your life right now. You need to banish this negativity. So if you are interested in crystals, you could also buy yourself a fluorite to help meditate with that. But yeah, definitely get yourself out of any situation that's kind of making you live in this loop of like you not being your full self and not believing that you deserve love. So group 3, this is the reading that I received for you. Please let me know how it made you feel, what you're going to go cut out of your life because it doesn't deserve to be there. You know, that ex, just block them. Just block that ex. They don't deserve to be in your life. And I really look forward to seeing you in one of my upcoming videos. So please remember to subscribe so you'd never miss out on future videos like this.